What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Unscripted Together. I'm Jessica, my husband Danny.
What's up, everyone?
So today we decided to do the podcast on flirting. What is it? I know it sounds so weird, but I feel like in our day and age, I feel like some people have forgotten how to flirt. What does it really mean? What should you not do? So these are topics that we're going to touch on based on our lived experience. And what do you want to add to that?
I feel like flirting has always been kind of looked at like a negative thing, and we want to bring some positive take on it.
I want to know why.
Well, because when you think flirt, you think, flirting probably while out, flirting while, at a club, flirting.
Yeah, but it's not a bad thing. Like, we flirted when we met.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like when people say, "Oh, that guy was trying to flirt with me."
It depends the context of it. Yeah, it depends what the context is.
It's usually never like, "Oh, that was a great thing. He was trying to flirt with me." It's always
no.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like when you mention the word flirt, there's always there's never like excitement behind it. And I feel like with today's topic of conversation, you're going to shine some light on the excitement.
Yeah, I feel that we still flirt.
Right.
I love how you flirt with me, and I can't speak for you. I don't know if you think I flirt with you. What?
Nothing.
I don't?
Yeah.
Answer the question. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So
I feel bullied.
I know. Yes or no? No, but I'm saying flirting is just something that is done when you are trying to be in a romantic relationship with someone you like, right? It's a normal process. Are you looking at me weird? Am I doing something? Oh, I thought the thing was too far. It's a normal process of a relationship. So it's not negative. I think that like anything, right? It depends how you do it and yeah, I mean, there could be times that you do it and you're not supposed to be doing it. And that's another topic that gets into infidelity and cheating and things like that. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about when people are getting ready to be in a relationship, like they like someone enough to want to take it to the next level. And I feel like some people don't know how to do it, that's a thing. People just don't know. Like you and I have, okay, this is going to sound weird, guys, but we've been on dates and just observing. I'm a very observant person.
Same.
And I feel like I've seen people be on dates where I literally would fall asleep. Yeah. Like if I was on that date, I would literally just they're literally
just staring at each other. Yeah.
It's so sad. And I'm not saying in a judgmental way, like in a bad way. I'm shedding light on the fact that flirting it's a natural part and it's a natural progression. And even us that we've been together for so long, I feel like it's something that needs to always happen. Mm-hmm. And that's the spark that I feel that needs to always be there. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't have a spark, then what do you have?
That's where your relationship starts to struggle.
Because I feel like even though you make me so angry.
She's referring to right before we started filming, in case you didn't know.
Even though and I tell you, I'm like, babe, I need time. I need 5 minutes to just gather myself and it's silly. Get away. Bad negative energy, go away. And it's but it's I don't know. I guess we'll go into it so you guys can kind of see where this is going.
Yeah.
So I have some statistics that I pulled up that I thought were really interesting. And you have them, I gave them to you. So the first one I wanted to, and I love this because I love, is in the US they studied singles this year. Out of 5,001 singles, 60% believe in love at first sight. So when I told you that, did you think that was high or low?
Honestly, I thought it was high. truthfully, because 60% sounds like a lot of people believe on love at first sight.
Yeah,
And I think that would be true
I feel that too.
maybe with the boomer generation or maybe like the millennials. But I feel like now with the Gen Zs, I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if
No, you'd be
I don't
surprised.
know if 60% of the Gen Zs know love at first sight.
No, I feel like the sentiment behind love at first sight is I feel like it's a normal human emotion. Like everyone, it doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter where you come from. People want to be loved.
Yeah.
That is just a natural thing for everyone, for every human being. So I feel like when I saw that, it made me happy because I thought it was going to be lower. I thought that number would be significantly lower because of what you just said to your point. Because I feel like nowadays with the trends and AI and the online dating and all that stuff,
Well, my thing comes
so
from
that makes me happy.
how do you know it's love at first sight when most of the dating nowadays is done like solely on aesthetic, like how you look in the app, you swiping left, you swiping right. So it's just like in order for you to actually experience love at first sight, you have to actually see that person and see how that person's reacting in the environment you're in. So when we say love at first sight, we could be at a restaurant, a family gathering, a wedding, and I just happen to notice you. And what you are doing is what's calling my attention, right? Like how you're laughing, what you're wearing, just kind of your face impressions, how you look, just seeing you in action would be like, oh my God, I want to marry that girl
Yeah.
one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I said 60% seems high because nowadays you don't get to experience that in the digital world we live in. You
I
know what I mean?
think I agree with you, and I think I would have to look more. I would have to look deeper into the statistic, like where it was done and how it
Yeah.
was done, so that we know the extent of how they got that number. But just because, let's be positive here, and I love, like I said, that number did surprise me, in a good way, because I thought it was going to be significantly lower.
I'm happy it is though.
Yeah.
I'm happy that if 60% of people nowadays still believe in love at first sight, then we still have hope
Right.
to some
And
extent.
I think that goes back to what I said earlier. I think it's a human, it's a natural, it's an intrinsic feeling of wanting to be loved and feel that connection with another person.
Yeah.
So I feel like in theory that would never die. If that dies, then we have nothing because then that means that you don't care for human connection, which is weird.
Yeah.
You know, that's what our civilizations have been based upon. That's how you procreate. So yeah. And then the other thing was to your point earlier. They studied, so the same, no, not the same studies. Another study, it showed that let's see, U.S. singles went on fewer than 2 in-person dates over the entire year.
That's terrible.
That's really bad.
2 dates in a 52-week span.
Yes, in a year.
I'd love to know
So I
the
think
divorce rate because I'm sure that.
so. Obviously, this is called a dating deficit
Yeah.
because, but I think this is again. I think this is because of the whole online dating app.
Yeah.
I'm not bashing the online dating guys because I feel like the last time we did it, we were talking about toxicity and stuff and things, so it was to that point. But online dating doesn't have to be bad. It's just that some things do lead to it being it looks like a negative, the negative aspects of it come out in things like this.
Yeah.
Like why are people going on literally less than 2 dates in a whole year?
Yeah, that's not
Is
good.
that because you are talking to people online? So like your whole interaction with that person is for the most part virtual?
Yeah, which is terrible because how do you really get to know that person?
Right. Right.
You know?
So then that goes to, so then we can get into the whole, how do you start flirting? Like what, so because you said you think it's negative.
I don't think it's negative. I just think when someone mentions the word flirt, it doesn't necessarily spark excitement in my eyes. In my eyes. Like so like if someone said, Oh, that guy was trying to flirt with me. Oh, that girl was trying to flirt with me.
But
I
if
don't.
they're single, that's fine.
Or the. Well, usually that's what I mean. Usually, when someone mentions the word flirt, there's no excitement attached to it. Usually, because nowadays everyone's like creeped out. Like, oh, that creep was trying to flirt with me.
So that's one aspect of
You know what I'm
it,
saying?
right? So that's one
But
aspect of flirting that I want to touch on
a lot.
is when to know if the feeling that you're feeling is being reciprocated. So it's say I don't know you and we
Yeah.
just met, just like when we did. I knew we had a connection.
Yeah.
We both knew it.
Even though you gave me the cold shoulder,
I did not give you the cold
she
shoulder.
did give me the cold
I did
shoulder.
not. I was anxious and I was nervous and I wanted to dance with you, but I was really, really nervous. And I'm like, oh my God.
Let's
And
talk
it's like
about
my
it for
nerve
30 seconds,
and
real
it's
quick.
and it's my I am and my nervous. So he asked me to dance. We were out and
Wait,
we had
let's go.
mutual friends.
Let's
And
go
he
back
told
30 seconds before that. Our mutual friend, who she's probably watching this right now, I said to her, "What's up with the blonde that you're with?" And she said, "Oh, it's funny you ask because she thinks you're cute." So I'm like, "All right, great. So let me go shoot my shot." I go shoot my shot, and she shuts me down. So yeah, that was our whole extent of flirting that night.
guys, I was really nervous. I
That
was so nervous that I
that
was
that
like,
flirt session lasted like 8
I
seconds.
know so that's the whole that actually that is a prime example of fear. When fear is involved, you do weird things. Like why would I not dance with you if I'm so into you? That's see? That's the whole point and that was one of the points that I wanted to touch on. It's like you can't allow fear will kill so many good things in your life. Because if you would have just been like, "Oh, forget it." Like I'm so embarrassed that I asked her and she said no. I'm never gonna talk to her again.
Yeah.
Then that would have been it. That would have because what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? But you didn't, and you kept going.
And here we are.
So I think that how do you start flirting? What is flirting? It's inviting behavior, teasing, slight teasing, light-hearted teasing. It's warm energy. It might involve touch, very subtle, nothing creepy, where it's like you're not supposed to be touching the other person. Like we'll talk about it. Positive, smiley, kind, an energy that invites conversation. So that's flirting in an appropriate setting. So you're both single, appropriate. And then
Or you're married.
or you're married.
Or you're dating.
I was gonna say that. Right. So when you're
So
in a relationship, it's so important to keep that going. Because it's that energy of like that playful energy that still gives you like that spark, those butterflies that people say. It still has to be there on some level, because that's what's going to keep your relationship going just as much as it was when you first started.
Yeah.
You have to find ways to keep that going. So let's talk about it. When two people have just met, and how would you know that I'm flirting with you?
my personal opinion, without using Google, eye contact.
Yes.
If a woman gives me eye contact, that's flirting, right? If I look at you,
Well, I mean, how? I mean, people look at you every day.
I mean,
There's a certain look.
there's a certain look, or if they keep looking, right?
Okay.
So like if I'm looking at you and you're just turning away, then that tells me you want no interest in me. Or if I look at you and you look at me and you turn your head and then I look at you again 5 minutes later and you're looking at me again, then I'm going to be like, okay, she keeps looking at me.
Right.
Or she hasn't taken her eyes off of me and she keeps staring at me. So it's either creepy or weird or she's flirting, right?
Right. So that's the whole thing,
So
right?
to me, eye contact, I would say, would be the number one way to communicate that energy, that flirting energy.
Yes. So it's one of those like when you're at a bar or you're at a party or you're out somewhere and you just catch each other's eye, right? That means that you're literally both looking at each other. Because how else would that happen?
Right,
So
right.
it's that connection that's like unspoken, which is so
Unscripted.
important. I know.
Unscripted together
But
connection.
you have to have like there's a line that you can't cross because then it could come off as creepy. So from a woman's perspective, yes, if I'm mutually interested, I'll look at you. I'll do like maybe like a smile. A smile is always so inviting.
Yeah.
So that's where things can get misconstrued if you're a friendly person and and you're not flirting with a person, you just smile like hi, and then the other person will take it the wrong way. So it can get tricky.
But it depends, because some people are just naturally always smiling. Like you're always naturally smiling, but whoever doesn't know you might think you're flirting with them.
Right.
If
So
it's a
you have
guy.
right. So then you have to have so I have to have a certain demeanor, right, to know when to do it and when not to do it.
I know, but it's then you can't be. Then it's like you're trying to be somebody else. Like
No,
it all goes with who you are.
not
So you know
really.
what I mean?
I mean I think I know appropriate and not. So I mean, I'm not gonna go smiling just for no reason to
Well, you know
women,
what I mean. Yeah, yeah.
So then we have okay, so when you're in a you're on a date and there's the slight touching. So now you know each other, you've known each other enough to like have conversations and but you're not together. So you're not in a relationship yet.
Yeah.
I think people forget that there's like the energy of like being next to someone close enough has so much power and I feel like people forget that. Where people are like, I don't know how to flirt, or maybe they're older and they're divorced or they're in and they're just like, and they're single again and they're like, I forgot how to do it. Like, how do people do it? I think we overcomplicate everything as human beings.
I was just gonna say, I feel like
It's natural.
I feel like flirting is just showing emotion,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, to simplify it, it's just because flirting gets misconstrued because, like I said before, it gets associated with a creep, or it gets associated with a weirdo, or oh, that weirdo was trying to flirt with me, oh, that creep was flirting with me, and that's not really the case. It's just that person has interest in you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you have to so as a person, man or woman, you have to be able to discern when someone is not into you. Right?
Right.
So if I'm into you and you and I was like smiling and doing all the things and say another stat was about gym, so people that go to the gym a lot and like because it's where you spend the most amount of time is where people find people, right? So like say I see you at the gym and I'm like, oh, I really like him, like he's so cute and he's so nice to me and he always smiles and just like I don't know, I'm gonna justify it because I like you and I like your energy. So but if I try to say have a conversation with you and you're kind of like very short, then I'm gonna take that as that's not. I may like him, but he's not into me.
He doesn't like me.
Right.
He don't like me.
And I feel like that's where people like can be like their ego can be like shut down and like either continue even though the person's giving them like, hey, like it's not reciprocated.
Yeah, yeah.
So what would you say to that?
I mean,
To women that are like flirting and they're like, okay, I'm giving him the signs and sometimes he's really nice, but then like when I try a little harder, it's like not
So
creepy.
are we talking about somebody that's single, or
Singles.
dating?
Singles.
Singles tricky.
But that's the whole point.
Singles a little tricky because
That's when it starts. That's how you start.
I know, but nowadays everything's like, oh, why you staring at me? Like, you know how many videos I come across on YouTube where like at the gym, for example, where the women think the men are like staring at them. Okay, maybe they are. Who cares? Like you're in there with some booty shorts doing squats. What do you expect? No one to look at you? You know what I mean? So, of course, you should expect them to flirt with you because that's the energy you're kind of like attracting a little bit. And I don't want to get sidetracked here, but if someone at the gym, because you mentioned the gym, comes up to you and approaches you, you don't have to necessarily how can I put it? Not be mean or be rude, but they're approaching you because they have interest. They like you. They like something about you, whether it's your body, your face, your smile. Maybe you're on the phone talking to someone, you're singing your song at the gym. They like your personality. Whatever it is, they're approaching you. But it's tough because nowadays you approach someone and you get looked at like a creep with all these videos going viral now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
I think there's a certain
it is very challenging. What I'm trying to say is it's very challenging this day and age to organically flirt. Does that make sense? Like back in the days, maybe in our era or before us, you can flirt with someone and not have to worry about getting put on the spot or getting put on YouTube or being shown on Instagram as a creep. So now when guys want to flirt, and maybe girls too, but mostly guys are the ones that are known to get put on blast. When guys want to flirt nowadays, I feel like they have to cherry pick when and where because they can easily get put on blast for no reason.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like I was watching a video the other day, real quick, and this girl was at the gym and she was doing her workout. Actually, I've seen multiple videos like this. And there was a guy in the machine in back of her. He was staring at her. But he wasn't staring at her like a creep. He wasn't
Right,
like,
right.
you know what I mean? He was like more mesmerized by what he saw. I mean, clearly the girl was, decent looking, or maybe he was impressed by how much weight she was lifting.
Right. Something about it.
Something about her. He was looking at her.
Right.
And immediately, she did her little voiceover. She's like, "While I'm trying to do my workout here at the gym, look at this creep behind me. Just been staring at me this whole time." And she zooms in right at him,
I know.
and he doesn't notice that because she's doing it discreetly. And then she's basically calling him out.
Yeah.
And the dude's not even doing anything.
Right.
He's just looking at her.
I think it's so unfortunate that people use social media and the internet for those reasons, because if we didn't have social media, you would just be like, oh, he's looking at me, whatever, and just keep working out or go to another room or do anything if you would feel that uncomfortable, because sometimes people are inappropriate.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just human nature. Like if a guy sees a girl and he likes what he sees, he's gonna look. Okay, big deal. As long as he's not
But why
disrespecting.
why they gotta embarrass
Right,
him?
that's what I'm saying. As long as he's not disrespecting you, touching you, making you feel any if someone is just staring at you like hardcore, that's really thing. Maybe I'd say something, but I'm never going to be like, oh my God, let me screenshot this and send it and put it all over social media. That's a little much.
Yeah.
That's I don't agree with that either.
I also saw another video of I've seen several of these videos. They just pop up my feed. When you watch one, you just get a bunch.
Yeah.
But I've seen videos of women that are complaining that they're not getting approached by men. There's this guy at the gym I give him every hint in the world, and
Right, that's what I'm talking about.
he just doesn't approach me. He
Right.
just doesn't even say hi to me. Like I smile at him, and he just still doesn't say two words to me. The dude's probably been embarrassed already multiple times
By other women. Okay.
His confidence now is through the toilet.
Or he sees the videos that go viral.
He sees the videos that go
And doesn't
viral,
wanna be
and
that
he's
man.
like, I'm all set. I'm not about to embarrass myself,
Right.
and it just doesn't happen. Now you build this wall where you're afraid to approach any woman, especially at like a place like the gym,
Right. Yeah, I
because
can
now
understand
you're
that.
afraid to get put on blast.
Yeah.
So like this is what I mean. Like this is why when you told me you wanted to talk about this, I said I kind of questioned it because I was like, flirting is usually associated with negativity to some extent, and it's not. It's super positive. We flirt in our relationship all the time. I feel like people that are into each other should flirt with each other. It keeps the spark alive. I feel like if you're dating, you should flirt with significant others.
But the first thought you had was the negative one because of what you've seen online.
Immediately, when you said let's talk about flirting, I think that'll be a nice topic.
Yeah, I was confused. I was confused as to why you thought it was negative. I'm like, negative. I'm like, that's like a normal. That's how you start.
Yeah,
that's how you start anything with a relationship.
I said,
I get it.
You want to talk about flirting? I'm like, why do you want to do that? Usually when people talk about flirting, it has like negativity involved in it. It's like, like gym videos and like stuff like that. And it's just like, all right. But, you gave it a little twist. You said, how relationships, people should still flirt.
Yeah.
It keeps the spark alive. It keeps the love alive.
Yes.
It's kind of like the equivalent to like when your wife is cooking and you come hug her from behind and say thank you, tell her how pretty she is. That's a sense of flirting.
Right. And I think that's one of the things that I wanted to touch on is why people are so scared to flirt is because of rejection. Right. So they're scared of, that was one example, the one you gave of the gym, but people are just naturally afraid to be like, how do I make the next move? I feel like I'm more old school, traditional, where I feel like men should court women.
Yeah.
And
100%.
And I feel like I would never just throw myself at anyone, and I never have, just because that's just not what I believe in. Some people are more forward than others, and if that's your belief, then that's your belief, and that's fine. But just for me personally, I feel like there's certain things you can do, but I think to some extent it is up to the man
Yeah.
to lead in that sense.
Well, here's my take. If you're single, you have to be a little more open-minded. Okay. Obviously, if you're taken and someone outside a relationship flirts with you, don't entertain it. But if you're single and someone has the courage to come up to you and compliment you or try to
Yes.
engage in conversation or introduce themselves to you, don't be mean, don't be rude.
Yeah.
There's ways of shutting somebody down if you're not immediately physically attracted to them, which is also kind of lame, but I get it. If if physical attraction is it's huge to you, then and you're not attracted, then that is what it is. But in some cases, no one's perfect. So this person might not have something that maybe you like, but they might check off 9 out of 10 boxes. And they might be the nicest person in the world, and you're just not giving them the time of day.
Well, I don't think they know that yet.
Well, right, because they shut them down so fast.
Right, but I think so that's the hard part, right? Because yes, we try, I believe in not just judging somebody for their solely for their appearance, but at the same time you have to be attracted on some level. There has to be some type of chemistry. So
Well,
it's tricky.
I'm
Because
going.
I'm saying because I'm talking about like the flirting where it's like pre-relationship, like before you get to know them.
Well, this is where it gets a little tricky because we have to clear what we're talking about. So
Yeah.
are we still talking about two single people?
Yes.
Okay, because if you're talking about two single people, they're single for a reason. So if one or the other gets approached by one, you have to be a little open-minded if you really want to get in a relationship.
Yes.
Now, if you don't want to get in a relationship and you want to stay single, that's a different story. But
Yeah.
if again, because we touched about it 5 minutes ago, all these single people complaining online that no one's hitting on them and no one's like, people that
They're
are
not finding their person.
they're not finding their person. Well, maybe you're just pushing away the people that maybe do want to approach you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's also energy you have to give too.
Right. I think you have to be very clear on what you're looking for
Yeah.
in a partner. Because if you are solely basing this on looks, then that's going to be your first problem. Looks can be important, but it's not the only thing that should matter. Because if that's the only thing that matters to you, then there's something that you need to work on internally because that's not what relationships are based on.
Yeah.
Right? It has to be like you align with values, you align with morals, you align with things that are deeper, the deeper connection. And the chemistry. When you say chemistry, that's like that energy that you can't see. And it's almost like you can't explain it. It's just something that I liked about you. I didn't know you from a hole in the wall when I met you.
But that
And I loved it. And I loved something about you. And I was like, I just like it. I don't know. Maybe it was the way you looked at me. I couldn't put words to it.
But that goes hand in hand with flirting too.
Right.
That
right.
energy.
That is flirting.
You know what I mean?
That's the energy of flirting. That's what I'm talking about. So that goes to people. So I'm talking about right now when flirting goes wrong or people don't know how to do it or won't do it or can't do it. When people are in friendships and they like grow feelings for the person. So how do you transition, right? And I feel like that's really hard for people because they don't want to ruin the friendship. But
So the friend zone, you want to get out of the friend zone?
Right. And it's like from a man's perspective, what do you think? Like if a guy just keeps getting friend zoned, what do you think could be happening?
He's not showing the emotions.
Right. And that's hard for men.
Well, yeah, because they keep getting dogged on. So
Everything goes back to that.
everything goes back to getting dogged on. If you've tried and you keep getting the cold shoulder or dogged on or embarrassed or humiliated, whatever word you want to use for it, there's gonna come a point where you're gonna learn your lesson and you're gonna say, I'm done.
Yeah.
Now
That's so sad.
Now the only way I'm gonna like even consider this with someone is if they throw themselves at me. And
Yeah.
even then I'll be careful.
Yeah.
So now you have to find someone that wants to throw themselves at you, which it's not that easy either.
Well, so I feel like I have to say something because I feel like I can speak to this because you were talking about men getting treated like that. I feel like for younger women, they have like a jaded thought process that when men approach them, they're all players and they're all dogs. So when someone comes up to you flirting with you, your immediate response is, and you don't like them, like like they're just that it's not your type, or you just like, who are you? It's kind of like you give that demeanor of like, get away from me, or very rude,
You're
very
judging. They're
condescending. It is very
judging.
judgmental. And I feel like I've seen just from even when I was younger, I feel like I learned not to do that,
Yeah.
because you're like on defense mode, because you don't want men to like just think that you're easy, or like so many negative thoughts. And I feel like we as a society, we need to get away from that and just lead with kindness. If someone's truly not doing anything and they're just complimenting you, okay, they might not be your type, they might not be your cup of tea. Just be kind. If he gives you a compliment, thank you, keep moving. That's it. You didn't smile, you didn't you didn't tear them down, you didn't make them feel stupid. I think that happens a lot. It's like, okay, a guy goes up to a girl and she's not feeling him, so she just looks at him like with a side eye, or like makes him look really dumb.
Now you make it harder for that guy to approach another woman.
Right? And it's just a vicious cycle of negativity to
So
other
this,
people that don't even have nothing to do with the last interaction that person had, but because they're jaded, now they're like, forget it.
so let me ask you an opinion. So do you think that has to do with our generation now, or do you think it has to do with the internet and these social media apps?
I think a little bit of everything.
I think it's the internet and
I
the
think it
social media
I
apps,
think
because
it's yeah, because that influences everything.
if the apps didn't exist, this generation would grow up like our generation, just like we
Right.
grew up like our parents' generation. So
Right.
it would have kept going. But now with social media and all these apps, people get shamed all the time, right? AKA kind of bullied to
Yeah.
a point, to the point where now you're just afraid someone's gonna put you on blast. Like I really, really empathize for the people that have to date in this like lifetime right now in this world, because it's very challenging. And obviously I'm not dating, but I'm on social media and I see the stuff I come across and I'm like, man, why would this person do that?
Yeah.
That's terrible. They don't know that they're ruining that person's life, or at least for the next years to come. That person has to overcome this experience now in order to be able to move on to try that again with somebody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of like it's sad. It's very sad. I feel for a lot of people nowadays as far as that goes.
I think for the younger generation, my advice to them would be, for women, is lead with kindness and lead with exactly what you want to receive. If someone approaches you and it's not your cup of tea and it's just you're not feeling that person, it's very simple. If it's a compliment, thank you, and just keep moving. There's no need to be nasty, to give the eye roll, to make the person feel stupid, to say anything other than thank you. Because if someone went out of their way, it took heart, it took so much courage to go up to you and say anything to you. It could just be nothing. It could literally just be like, hey, you look nice today, or wow, you're beautiful, or anything.
How hard is it to say
Just
thank
say
you
thank you. That's it.
and either turn around or say thank you? And if they continue to talk, you say, I'm all set, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a
That's
man.
happened.
Oh, I have
That's
a
happened to
man.
me.
Thank you.
Like I'm just walking and somebody wants to approach me. They don't know who I am. I don't know if they saw my ring or not. And it's like, or my rings. And then I'm not just going to be super ignorant and just be like, like hit him with the words like, oh, I'm married. Bye. That's it. That's it. That's very. I didn't disrespect the person. I didn't make him feel stupid.
You
I
didn't
said
shame
it.
him on the internet.
Right. It's not that serious. Like if someone's disrespecting you, that's a different story.
Right.
And I mean, you shouldn't. It shouldn't
And
be eye
even-
for an
and-
eye either. It
Right,
shouldn't-
and even then you
yeah.
shouldn't be.
No.
I mean,
I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying like, okay, I can understand if you get a little agitated and something else happens. If someone comes at you, in a different light and disrespectful. But I think that for the younger generation, that would be my advice. Like people don't need to be, and for men too, men be mindful.
Yeah.
And
Here's
ahead.
a little bit of advice I can give men. When you approach a woman, minimize the the chances of you giving her to embarrass you. So what do I mean by that? Maybe I'm speaking backwards. When you approach someone, be polite, be respectful, be kind, show a smile. Don't be a creep, right? How can you be a creep? By making weird faces, saying nasty things, or saying things out of stare for too long without emotion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of give the energy that you want her to receive.
Yes.
If you want her to think that you like her, smile at her. If you want her to think that you're interested, give her a little smirk, look at her, you know. So give the energy that you essentially want her to know that you're giving,
Yeah.
right? It's kind of, I always laugh, and I mean, this is kind of like off topic a little bit, but when we used to watch Love and Hip Hop back in the days, I used to always say Stevie J always had like a creepy look, right? Because he always looked at women.
He is a creep.
He always looked at women like
he wanted to eat them.
Like he wanted to eat him alive.
It's
Like
disgusting.
that's a look you don't want.
Don't ever have that look, please.
That's a look you don't want to give anyone, because
You know what we're talking about?
If you know Stevie
so
J,
gross.
you'll know. If you
I
don't,
can't.
look him up, and you could probably Google it. There's probably a ton of memes about Stevie J's look.
Yeah.
It just looks like he wants to eat you alive right there in front of everybody. So that's what I mean. So give the energy that you want to get received, and you want reciprocated. If you want someone to be nice to you back, be nice to them. If you want someone to be polite to you, be polite to them. If you want someone to maybe engage in conversation with you, then approach it in a forum where it's conversational. Instead of saying, hey, just want to let you know you're pretty, and her say thanks, and now you guys walk away, that's not conversational.
Right.
Ask an open-ended question. Hey, are you new around here? If it's someone that, if it's in your neighborhood, or, at your workplace, or, are you from around here? Where you from? I can't really tell by your accent. Something in the event where it's going to open up a conversation, and now you can kind of like, just kind of share your interest. You know what I mean? So that's the advice I would give to guys and girls, I guess, nowadays. If you really are struggling with capturing someone's interest that you like,
Right.
or if you're struggling with just that part of life in general with flirting, right? When you come across someone, whenever that happens, that you've been struggling with getting people's attention, that's my pointer to you.
Right. I agree.
Is that good or bad?
No, that's good. I like it. I think that
approach it in a way where you can talk.
Right. I think communicating is always going to be your best friend, right? Because how do you let someone know that you like them?
Communication.
I mean, wishing upon a star, you have to say something.
You can wish. I mean, you got faith.
Yeah. But I mean, you're going to be wishing for a long time for someone to be on that page with you.
And even,
you have to match the energy. So.
And even then, there's always a joke. There's always a bunch of jokes, but, I'm just going to pray God will send me the right person.
Well,
God,
it's not a joke. That's true.
No, but I'm saying God could have sent you that person 5 times, and you just blew him away.
Yes.
It's like I'll give you the quick short version of this joke, where there's like this man who's drowning in the sea, and there's a boat that comes to save him, and he's like, no, God's going to save me. And then he sends a helicopter 2 days later, and then they're like, no, God's going to save me. And then, 3 days after that, there's another ship that comes by, and, oh, no, God's going to save me. The guy dies, he goes to heaven. And the guy's like, God, what happened? I was waiting for you to save me. And God's like, I sent you 3 different people.
Yeah.
I sent you 3 different people to save you, and you did nothing with none of them. So here we are.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's true. Your energy has to match. It always has to match what you're
And that
trying
was
to.
a short version, by the way. Man.
Yeah, what you're trying to receive. But I get it. I feel like, and so the beginning of this conversation was, how do people get friend zoned? And I think it's the communicating. That it just, for the most part, women want to be courted.
Yeah. What do you mean by courted?
Like, I want you to lead. I want you to make the first move. I want you to
initiate,
embrace me, and like if we're romantically inclined, like I want you to make the first move. I want you to lead.
Yeah.
It just feels safe. It feels like you are the alpha in the relationship. It just feels good. Like and it makes me feel, so then it's like an easy, I feel like that's if it's a dance,
Yeah.
it's like it just
It just
works, it just
flows.
flows, right?
Yeah.
And there's no stumbling, there's no wandering. Am
But you
I?
gotta, again, I need to remind you, you come from an era where dating was different. Nowadays, and I keep repeating myself, I probably said that word 4 times today already so far, but it's tough for
Yeah,
guys to do
it's
that.
tough, but it's not impossible.
It's not
So
impossible.
this
You
is
need
my
to learn how to
belief.
read body language and kind of like lead with caution, but it's very challenging where maybe some guys want to do so many things, but they're afraid they're gonna get put on blast.
Yes, but I also believe that your person you're going to meet the person when you are aligned with the energy that you both have. So what I mean by that is almost to what you were talking about, the God example. You have to be in alignment with the energy that you are trying to receive. I want a romantic relationship. I want a marriage. I want a man who loves me. Okay. How are you living your life to attract that? Right. So if I'm going out 24/7, if I'm just hosting certain things, living a certain lifestyle, doing all the things that you're very single to do, I understand that. But if you are wanting a marriage and you're wanting someone serious, is your energy giving serious? Is your energy giving marriage? Is that what you're putting out? Because
Yeah.
if it's not aligning, it's not going to align. You cannot fit a square into a circle.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just not going to happen. Right? So if you want to live your life, be single, party, have fun, do it. But don't expect then to be where all the men that want to get married and have kids and like I want to build a home and I want to build this environment. It's weird. That doesn't work. Like
Yeah.
it's apples and oranges. Like it's just not vibing.
It can, if one or the other makes a leap of faith, but they're, when you're in fear of getting shut down,
Right.
there's always that security barrier where you're like, let me not do this. I can't do this. Or maybe you need to do that. That's probably what you need.
What do you mean?
Like when you want to try something, but you're afraid of getting shut down.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. You need to at some point you need to release fear.
Yeah. And
Like
the other thing too is, right, it's also when the right person is meant for you, you'll get those signs.
right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so you don't have to like force your. Some people it takes a little more effort than others. Some people like us, it just happened organically. You know what I mean? But it is possible for it to just take a little longer, take different routes, and you can still get there. And like I said, for others, it just happens automatically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like it's harder nowadays. But we can move on. Do you want to move on to like relationship flirting, or because
Yeah.
we're talking about single
Yes,
flirting
yes,
this whole
yeah. We
time?
can so then relationship flirting, I think that's key to staying together and having a very a fun and loving relationship. And fun is so important. And I feel like at some point people forget that, which then leads to disagreements where you cannot come back from and then divorce.
So let's elaborate on relationship flirting. What would you call relationship flirting? Like how would you flirt with me?
Well,
So we're
I
married.
think I think well I'll say how I see it from you doing it to me and then the other way. I feel like touch for me is huge, right? So you hug me, kiss me, like little things that it's not just like I just kiss you once a week. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like bye or like bye babe and I just like kiss you on the temple. Like that doesn't work for me. But I feel like we're both on the same page with that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like sort of little words that you use, little phrases. I don't want to say it because it's between us. But there's certain things that you do that just make me feel like that make me know that you still love me. I would say even more than before.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that the evolution of our love has a lot to do with the fact that we keep having fun together and we laugh. And that's just so important because to keep happiness, to keep love alive, it has to be, you have to have an abundance of that. And I feel like that's what keeps getting lost with people that are having trouble in their relationships What do you think for
No, I
from me
agree.
to you?
I agree. With me, I feel like it's little things. Like you're very affectionate.
It's always the small
So
things.
I feel like you don't have to do much,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Like if you're a woman and you want to flirt with your man, it's as little as like literally you're sitting next to him. Like if I'm watching TV on the couch or on the bed and you come and sit right next to me, like to the point where I can feel you, not next to me like, you can fit, you know, a whole chair in between us. But if you're laying
Yeah.
next to me or you're sitting next to me and I can feel your leg rub on mine or your arm rub on my arm, that's flirting, right? But it's also affection,
Right.
and it's also showing the man that you being my woman, you like my company, that
Right.
you like sitting next to me, that
Right.
you like touching me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
And
those are the little things that we call flirting while being in a relationship, right? You don't have to like sit here. I mean, you can, get freaky, be kinky, whatever. But it's little things like that that go a long way.
right.
Because we all know once you're married, there's a lot of things that you can't do on the go. You can't just get up and go out. You have to get a babysitter. You can't just get up and do certain things. You have kids in the house, whatever. So like those little ways of flirting is what keeps the spark going so that when you can get to the next level, it's just organic.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If I'm like working on something and you see I'm stressed, you come and you give me a hug, rub my head, or offer me something, that's flirting to some extent.
I think that flirting when you're in a relationship is more so that you already know your partner's love language, and there's no asking. Like you're not gonna be like, or for me, I'm not gonna be like, babe, hug me, or babe, kiss me. Like I don't have to say that. Like you
Yeah.
just do it,
I
and
think
the same goes the other way, and it's out of nowhere, right?
flirting
And that's the
flirting
point.
flirting can go in a relationship hand in hand with nurturing, caring,
Affectionate.
affectionate. That's all ways you can flirt, right? It's my opinion.
Yeah, and I
It's
think
probably
as
not.
you're saying that, I feel like some people struggle because they are not affectionate. So I feel like I feel like people that aren't are say, okay, so how do I do this if I'm not naturally an affectionate person? And I feel like when you are in love with someone, that just happens. Because imagine being in a relationship where you never, no one, no, I don't hug you, I don't kiss you. So what?
I
That's a friendship.
I would say yeah, that's how you end up in the friend zone.
Right,
I would
right.
say yes and no because if you don't know, you don't know. If you didn't see your parents growing up being a certain way and your parents didn't, drill that into you, how are you gonna know? And if you don't see your friends doing it and you don't watch love movies, you're not gonna know.
So if you have one person that's affectionate and the other one isn't, I feel like
That's different
it
because now
is
you have some sort of example within your day to day.
right.
I'm talking about people that don't get it at
Two people
all.
that are not affectionate,
Two people that are not affectionate.
that's
That
tough.
that's a recipe for disaster. If you're not affectionate and your man's not affectionate, something needs to change sooner than later.
Okay, so I have a theory.
Because
Guys,
affection,
I'm not a doctor or
hold
a
on.
psychologist. Wait, I want to say this, I'm going to lose it. I'm sorry, because I'm going to lose it, and I feel like this is good. If both people are not affectionate, it is human nature to want to be loved and touched. Touch is just something that we bring within our being, in our soul, in our spirit, that we yearn for. It's different than, I feel like sometimes people get affectionate confused with this type of, I mean, it is affection, but in a relationship, like with your partner, because how else do you kiss? You have to kiss,
Yeah.
right? So that's affection, right? I'm not saying that you're like telling the person you love them 24/7 or every single second of the day, or like touching them 24/7, but you have to let them know on some level that you're still into them. So how do you show that? That's flirting,
That's flirting.
right?
That's how you
That's the
show the affection, show
right,
the emotion, show that you care, show the
right,
nurturing. That's affection.
right.
That's flirting.
That's flirting. So
Yeah.
I feel
That's
like
flirting within your
right.
relationship.
So I think that's what we mean when we say that, because I know some people are not. They say, "Oh, well, I'm not affectionate." Well, how do I show? Well, there has to be something in you that is just meant for your partner.
Yeah.
And then if you have kids,
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
So you have it in you. It's just that, you know, you need to explore it a little more. And that's going to be a whole nother other podcast topic. But I feel like that also goes into being comfortable with your sexuality. And you'd be surprised how many things I've read about and researched where both men and women never get to that point of being comfortable, right? And there's so much more with that, but with their partner, where
But,
that's like a comfort spot.
but isn't that like oxymoronic? Because how are you not comfortable with the person you chose to marry?
Like totally can happen.
I know, but
Because things can happen, especially after women have kids. I feel like that can happen. That happens a lot. I feel like it's I've seen it with people that I've worked with.
that's another conversation too.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's a very deep
after women
conversation.
have kids, I know they go through a lot of hormonal changes, but
Yes, a lot of your body goes through a lot. Your mental state goes through a lot, and it takes
you
both.
can you prepare for that in advance before you get pregnant?
There's certain things you can't prepare for because you don't know if they're going to happen to you. You know, like your body goes through a million changes, hormones are up and down, up and down. So it's like if you're going through things of that nature, you need to seek a doctor
I
and
gotta
and get help, because there are ways to fix
we
things.
can I was gonna say we can talk about this at another episode. That could be the
Yeah,
next episode. But
yeah.
I will say this on that topic. It has to be one of the hardest thing as a man to marry a woman that you absolutely love and would give the world for, and she would give the world for you, and you guys have a ton of history and memories and this and that and the other. And as soon as you pop a baby, that woman does a 180. And now she's the most miserable person. Her hormones are through the roof, as they can be. And now your whole relationship just went to,
It's frustrating for both people
you know what I
because
mean?
it's not like the female wants this to happen, right?
It's like what's supposed to be so
You literally
beautiful.
have transformed your whole entire body to give life to a human being. That takes so much.
That's what happens when you flirt. You end up popping
This
a
is what
baby.
happens after you flirt, guys.
But that could be another conversation.
So,
But
but yes,
yeah.
and then it's so hard for the man. So she's trying to make sense of it all, right? If you're a first time mom, super hard. If you're a first time mom, congratulations. It is the hardest thing, but the most rewarding thing you'll ever do. And it a lot of things happen, and this is normal. And I think you need a partner that is understanding. I mean, you can only know how much you're a guy, so a man can only be empathetic, right? Because
Yeah.
but you will never know what that feels like. So your love is what's driving this whole relationship if the woman is going through something, right? To be there for her and do all the things. And of course it obviously, you as a woman, you have to play your part in it too, to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward too. But it takes a lot. It
It
takes a lot.
does. It does. And it's tough, man. I feel bad for the youth nowadays, and not even the youth. You could be in your 30s and 40s if
I
you're
just
out there in this dating world right now. It's my blessings are with you because
Yeah.
it's tough.
I think that for the message for today is, if you are single and you are looking for a partner, flirting is a natural process of this to get there.
Yeah.
Communicate your feelings in a way that you need to I feel like we need to be in touch more with our spiritual self, because if you can feel when someone is into you, and you
Yeah.
can feel when someone is not feeling you.
Yeah.
So if there is a doubt that someone is not into you as a female, I feel like we're emotional by nature. Step back a little bit. Like, don't throw yourself at someone
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
there's a question mark. And then lead more with kindness, as I always say, because if you're never going to go wrong if you lead with that. If you are a man, go ahead. What is the message?
I already said if you're a man,
If you're single,
if you're a single man, I'll give you two messages from experience and from perspective. If you're a single man, if you're a taken man, married or in a relationship. If you're a single man, exactly what I said 10 minutes ago. Give the energy you want to receive. Okay? You want to engage in conversation with someone because you really want to get to know them. Approach them respectfully. and ask them open-ended questions that organically would make them have to talk. What does that mean? Open-ended, for those that don't know, it's anything besides a yes or a no answer. You know what I
A
mean?
question that leads to more than yes or no.
Yes. So something where they have to speak.
Right.
You know, where are you from? How long have you been in the area? You know, what do you do for a living? Whatever, like anything. I don't know. Whatever. It depends the environment you're in. But don't ask, are you single? Yes. Now we're staring at each other.
Right.
Or are
Right.
you single? No. Now we're all awkward, like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So approach the conversation how what with intention,
Yes.
with whatever your intention is, right? And then for the guys that are married, you have to flirt with your wife, man. I mean, you flirted with her before you met her,
Right.
and you flirted with her probably the first couple years of your marriage or the first couple months you met her. Why'd you stop? Why'd you stop? I have a specific ways that I flirt with you, and we can keep that private. But there's plenty of ways you can flirt with your woman. You can hug her. You can give her a kiss every day. You can touch her a specific way. You can kiss her a specific way. You don't have to kiss her in the lips. Like you like when I kiss you in the neck. You could be making me a protein shake and I'll just
Right.
come and give you a kiss in the neck. That's my way of flirting with you.
Right.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not saying bye.
Right.
I'm not coming home. I didn't say hello. It was just me walking up to the kitchen, giving you a hug and giving you a kiss on your neck. That's my way of flirting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like if you're married, if you're in a relationship, there's plenty of ways you can flirt. You know, if you're sitting down on the couch, sit next to your woman. If she's laying, you know, take charge. Say let's watch a movie. Let's lay down and watch a movie.
And for women, I feel like it's the same. If you're in a relationship, I feel like just, I feel like it's easier for us in some ways because we are emotional. Like I said, so like sitting next to the example you gave, sitting next on the couch, right? Don't sit on the other side of the couch,
Oh yeah.
right? You want to do things without him asking because that's weird. Like if you love someone, don't you want to be right next to them? Like I don't want to sit 5 feet away from you.
Yeah, if you're sitting here and every single time, it can happen if someone's doing work on the computer or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But if every single time I'm sitting on the couch here and you sit here and now that becomes a trend, we have a problem.
It becomes a problem. It may not be a problem.
There's a disconnect
but
there.
I feel like
the
if
fact that you
it's
don't want
every
to
single time,
the fact that you don't want to sit next to your significant other for any reason is a problem.
Yeah.
You should want to sit next to that person,
right.
especially
That's flirting. That's also flirting because
especially if that person hasn't been home all day.
Yeah.
And you haven't seen them all weekend
Yes.
or whatever the case may be. How are you gonna come home and sit on opposite sides of the couch
Yes.
like you don't know each other?
right.
Like you sit closer than that with friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's if you see those signs, you have a bigger problem than you think.
Yeah. I feel like so many things, I know this is going to sound a little silly or may not, I don't know. If you're having problems in your relationship, touch and a hug and a kiss literally
Goes such
can
a long
solve
way.
so many issues so quickly.
Yeah.
Like people don't realize, and there have been studies where people show that even just a hug for 20 seconds from a person will most definitely brighten up your day and lighten up your mood and change the whole scenario of whatever was happening 20 seconds prior to that. And that's also the same idea why they need newborns to have contact skin to skin with their parents. It's all human nature.
Yeah.
People want to feel loved, people want to love, and people want that touch does so much for you. So I feel like if there's something where you're struggling in your relationship, yeah, there could be other things, other aspects, maybe communication or whatever. But if you're having a bad day and sometimes I tell him, I'm like, he grounds me and I'm just like, just hug me. Just like if I'm just randomly like I'm like anxious or like something's happening and he has no idea what's happening. And I'm like, I just hug him. And it's just like that immediately grounds me.
Yeah.
Like if I'm anxious about something, and this is something that I've struggled with and I have done better. I'm doing way better now. And he has helped me a lot. But if this is you, I feel like, and if you have a partner, just their energy by nature, we don't have to complicate things. By nature, men are grounding, right? And you are the stability in your household. So this is why when people try to fight that, this idea, it's kind of like goes haywire and everything's chaotic. It tends to be chaotic because it's just the way that the creator designed it. Right. It's just the way it's supposed to be. So it's not, it shouldn't be this complicated. But anyway, I do feel like people need to keep flirting in their relationship all the way to the end, guys. All the way. Like, it doesn't matter if we're 30, 40, 50, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. That's going to keep the spark going. That's going to keep your relationship healthy, vibrant, happy, abundant, all the things that we want, healthy. Because if you're happy.
And also, that's the example you want to give your children.
Yes.
You know, if you have younger children in your house and you have teenagers, you reflect on them what the ideal relationship looks like.
Yes.
And that helps them as a model, and that helps them throughout their growing process. And when, when you're growing, you have a lot of questions.
Yes.
But if you see how your parents love each other, if you see how your parents communicate, if you see how your parents show love, if you see how your parents are with each other, now that's something you're going to model, and you're going to probably want that because you saw how happy your mother was all the time or your father was all the time. Now that's an example you're giving your children to pass along and keep the generation going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so important.
So there's a lot of aspects of why it's important.
Right.
Besides the obvious, you want a happy marriage.
Right.
And a happy relationship.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm glad we talked about it because, like I said, initially when you said, let's talk about flirting, I'm like, you want to talk about flirting? I don't know. Every time I feel like people talk about flirting, it's like negative. It's like, somebody got.
I know when you said that, I was like, what?
Somebody got dogged on. Something happened. I'm like, yeah.
It's funny when you said that because I was like, in my head as you were saying that, I'm like, you flirt with me all the time. I flirt with I was confused as to what you were thinking.
Yeah,
but I think
you're not getting videos showing up on your feed of guys trying to flirt and girls kicking them down.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad.
Putting them on blast on TikTok and Snap and Instagram.
Girls, don't do that. That's
everybody knowing.
Weird. That's malicious.
Listen, if you believe in karma, you shouldn't be doing anything evil.
Right. If someone is literally just looking at you, I mean, that's not illegal. That's not a crime.
Eyes were made to see.
Right.
And if you don't want them to see you as a certain object or a certain thing, then try to minimize that by maybe not doing certain movements, not wearing certain outfits. I don't know. I feel like, again, we can talk about this for hours, but it's everything goes hand in hand. It's very unlikely someone will look at you with a creeper face if you're not attracting that type of energy. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, yes and no. I feel like some people are just creepy.
When you see a nun, do you look at her with a creepy face? And this is a huge reach. This is a huge reach, but I'm being dramatic right now. When you see a nun, do you look at her with creeper looks? No, she's covered from head to toe. There's nothing to look at. You're like, oh, there's a nun. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But then you see a woman walk by with some tight yoga booty shorts, or if you're at the beach and you see somebody with a thong bikini in front of everybody.
It's human nature to look.
It's human nature to look.
Yeah.
It's human nature to get people staring at you. It's human nature for guys that are confident and alphas to try to even approach you. There's also human nature for guys that can get drunk and disrespect you.
Yeah, that's also human. Not okay.
It's also, I'm not saying it's okay, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You put yourself in those positions. It's human nature for you to just get hit on the whole entire time you're at the beach. So don't wear that. Save that for when you're on vacation with your man and you're in a villa somewhere and it's just you and him. Or save it for when you're like in the privacy of your own pool in your backyard with your family or your man or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's no creepers there to like try to get brave. So this is what I mean. This is exactly what I mean. Some women act a certain way, but they put themselves in that position.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Minimize that if you want to attract a good man. Give what you want to receive and just, be positive You know, I want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to find their significant other, but you have to take the right steps.
Yeah.
If you don't take the right steps and you don't do the right things, you're going to attract the wrong people.
Right.
Or you're going to lose the right people for not doing the right things.
Right.
One or
Yeah.
the other.
There's always a lesson. There's always a lesson to be learned.
Make up your
Yeah.
mind what it is you want.
Right. That's key. You have to know what you want. That's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
Like if you are trying to find a godly man. Oh, I want a godly man.
Go to church.
Right, right.
Join Bible studies.
Right, that's my point. So
do
like
church activities.
So say if someone's like, "Oh, I want a godly man," but then they never go to church, or they not even. Okay, I'm not trying to preach church. I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, if you want to go, you should go. But I'm saying, if you want a godly man, you're not gonna find him at the club. Right. You're not gonna find him at a bar. You're not gonna find him. Like it's gonna be really hard.
It's real simple. You're not gonna find them if you don't go to church. Forget the club and forget the beach and forget the pool. If you don't go to church, most likely you're not gonna find them. It's gonna be tough.
There's so much community you can find in church, and they have groups and things like that. So
and that's just an example. We're not saying that's what it is, but
Yeah.
that's an example. Women,
just like I'm saying, I said that because some women say, I want to find a godly man.
Yes.
Well, what are the odds of you finding a godly man anywhere else? Like, you're not going to know. And you will if you.
Or how about the ones that say, I want a man that's hardworking, that's disciplined, that's determined, that leads, but then that man comes along and he's a plumber, or he's like a garbage truck driver, and now you're judging him for what he does for work,
like a blue collar
thing, a laborer or whatever. Mm-hmm. Now you don't want to date him because he's the trash man, or he drives the trash truck, or he's a plumber. Like, who cares? Mm-hmm. You're limiting your options here, and you're limiting your ability of actually finding a good man, because is that being superficial? Because you're being superficial, not superficial.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If you're living to please other people, because it's gonna look a certain way, what are you living for?
Like, this man could give you the best life ever. Right, Who the hell cares if he works?
If he's earning his money in a good, honest way. Yeah.
If
he's gonna take care of you, and he's gonna love you, and he's gonna give you literally like the world, and you are in love with him, and he loves you. What more do you want?
That man could be out there cutting grass all day long and come home and give you a foot massage when you should be giving him a foot massage.
Right.
He could be the best man to you in the world, but just because he does XYZ as a career or as a job, now you immediately disqualify him. Right. That's insane.
No, that shouldn't happen.
That's insane.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You know what I mean?
I don't like that, because that is superficial. That's just like.
And this is for the people that say they can't find good people.
Right.
So there are a lot of good people out there.
Yes.
Don't pre-qualify. Don't just assume. Don't think or make assumptions. Give people the actual chance and opportunity to get to know each other.
Yes.
And let it happen organically, without knowing what they drive or what they do or where they live.
I'm gonna say one of my favorite quotes, and if people follow me on Instagram, they know this, from Wayne Dyer, and it's, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Yeah.
And it's such a simple concept, and I love it. I live by it. But think about what it's saying, right? If I meet someone, it's your perspective. Mm-hmm. If once you change that to a healthy alignment with what you want in life, your life will completely change. And maybe not so many things around you changed, but your perspective changed. So now everything looks super different, right? It's because now you are willing to receive what the universe has for you.
It's true.
So
100%.
Thank you, as always, for stopping by. Remember to subscribe, as it helps us grow our channel. Like it, comment, and share with at least one person. If you watched this video and you got to the end, thank you. It will help us tremendously if you just share it with one other person. It takes 2 seconds of your day, and we truly appreciate it.
Yes.
So we will see you on the next one.
Peace.